Okay, it's recording it now. No, I'm not trolling. I forgot this guy. All right, Tesla, the 1 hour. Yeah, so we're hitting the strong resistance, or sorry, support, from like a week, 2 weeks ago. Looks like that's what we're holding for now on Tesla. So then you can look for, yeah, this 350 actually, yesterday's high of day. This was a really good flip here. That trade was really nice in the morning, I won't lie. If we do break above this level though, yeah, we can definitely see 360 easily. It looks like there's very little, there's really no levels up until 360 here. But we just need to get above this level. It looks like it tried, but we rejected back down. Now we're hovering around this support resistance level. So if we can get above this, then 360 looks pretty on. 370, I'd be a bit more surprised with 370. Like we do have, this is a pretty strong level, but 360 can give some trouble there. So I'd also be looking at the GEX on Tesla to see if that 360 flares up as a potential like gatekeeper growing, right? As price, if price breaks out. Actually, this Tesla double bottom was super clean. Damn. All right. I don't remember who asked that. Ted K. Okay, hopefully that just gives you my perspective there on Tesla. Yeah, no problem, no problem. 6, 8, 75. Yeah, so we're still pushing a bit here on the indexes. Yeah, SPY node's pretty interesting, honestly. That's 685. That's a lot of volume. 682 picked up a bunch. 677, 680, those have basically died out. But yeah, this SPX and even QQQ ceiling, we definitely have strong ceilings there. So let's see as we start tapping into 6860 what happens. Did you see that pattern we shortly discussed today? Mm, that pattern. Oh, no, I didn't see it today, Myron. I'd have to, although I wasn't on much at lunchtime. Yeah, so let me give that a check. Give me a second here. I don't recall seeing it though. But let's check. So this pump, let's see, this morning pump was around like 12 that we got it going. Let's see if at around 11:45 we saw something like that developing. All right, it looks like they're gonna start ripping this. Yeah, Myron, so I think today I didn't really see that pattern super strongly. No, definitely not like the one I had messaged you about. I mean, actually, I mean, we did get some negative notes growing here, but it wasn't like free to the move. It was like pretty much in line with the move. So I would, yeah, not as much as what I had been or what I had seen in the past on those couple other pumps that I think I had mentioned to you. I forgot which ones I had brought up to you, but definitely not as present. Oh, can I replay an example? Yeah, let me. What was the day we had messaged about? Yeah, let me try to find that example for you. Oh, 950? Yeah, I wasn't looking at market this early. Let me see here. How did market go this morning? Oh, off the 677 floor. So yeah, 677 and 609, I think were pretty clear levels. So I think if anyone played in the morning, maybe that would have been their play, a bounce off of that. Uh, I don't know. That morning candle was news as well, right? So I think that's what ended up like rocketing price up. But yeah, the Myron, I guess the pattern that I had texted you about is that wasn't present today. That one I've only seen it like a couple times too, so that's why I want to look into it, but I'm not even sure if it's worth publishing much about it just because I've seen it so infrequently. So I still need to just I still need to think about that one. But Myron, yeah, if you're considering taking them, that's fine, right? With time, you'll probably build a bit more experience and more confidence. So I don't think it's a big issue if you didn't take them. As long as you had that idea and saw it play out, then in the future, that's probably something you'll have a bit more confidence to take. How do I get out of replay mode? The heck? Let's see here, 68880. Yeah, so we're currently seeing if these SPX QQQ nodes are going to hold here. Let's see if we get that or not. All right, yeah, any questions? Just more general questions. They can also be about today, but also just general questions of the tool. I'm happy to go through. 68880. Hmm. All right, could I talk a bit about the vex positive and negative? Oh, when we have gex and vex different in sign, Baggins? Yeah, so this one uh there's a table that explains it better than I will. Because often I don't often cross-check that actually. Like a lot of times I'm just interested if we have large volume on either one. And I don't often check, especially for Vex. Like with Gex, I do check the sign all the time. With the Vex, I often don't. Because it's not I guess like in my view, it's not as important, especially lately. So I'll often cross-check that a bit less, but let me go find you where's that table? Yeah, so there's a couple things. This table here. Oh, okay. You have this one screenshotted. Do you have the other one that is where's the other one? There's another one that explains the correlation, right? So when you have positive Gex and Vex, versus if you have negative negative. So this is another table, this core, whatever, this matrix here. Well, I'll look through this, but actually now that I look at this, this doesn't have when we're cross sign, right? So I think when it's cross sign, like it's when they're matching, it's definitely going to be a bit more high confidence, right? When it's cross signed, yeah, because if you notice, none of these have opposite signs, right? So when it's mixed, I think yeah, a bit of indecision, but they also like they're a bit counteracting in behavior. Whereas when you have positive positive or negative negative, then it's more complementary, if that makes sense. Baggins. So it's same thing as like when we had like for example Friday, right? Friday when we bounced off. This is only on Gex, but it's the same kind of deal, right? Where QQQ was a negative node and Spy was a positive node, or maybe it was the opposite. I don't remember. But when we have those conflicting signs, usually one I'll trade it a little bit more lightly. But honestly, for the Gex is not too big a deal. Either way, you're looking at it as a potential floor. But I'll usually assume the worst case of the two, right? So if you're looking at both, and then according to the table you already have Baggins, then I would say, okay, for me to enter this trade, I need to do it in the safest way. So I'll just assume the worst of the two scenarios, and then just trade according to that, if that makes sense, Baggins. So, like for example, the QQQ spy scenario last Friday I was speaking about, one positive, one negative. So then we know negative will sometimes cause overshoots. So I'm basing all my entries off of that, right? That's what I would do just to be safe. Of course, sometimes we don't play out according to that, but I'd rather err on the side of caution than, than assume it'll be the safer or the easier one and then then deal with extra drawdown due to that. Hopefully that helps, Baggins. So I carry that kind of logic, whether it's, you know, index to index indecision, whether it's Gex Vex. So in terms of volume, like there's still strong volume, especially Gex Vex comparing across an index. I still give that a lot of weight, right? Just that we see similar volume at a specific node, or not similar, but strong volume at the same node. Um, but yeah, I'll say if I have to pick between the two, I usually bias towards the sign on the Gex, just because on the entry, that's going to be what's impacting it more, and then the Vex. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've always just biased towards Gex on entries, right? Not for all of it. All right. Sam's, what do the different node sizes do on Atlas? Like if I turn the orb size higher? Is that what you mean? Holy, what is going on? Computer is. Wait, what did I just do? How do I have two tabs? Well, I didn't know you could do this. Oh, I didn't know that feature existed. My bad. All right. Sam's, if you're just saying so if I go to the settings here, like this orb size, that's just showing you like how large or small you want it on the chart. Was that your question or is this something else, Sam's? All right, Oracle, yeah. I'll pull up Oracle. Oh, Sam's, the nodes drop down? That's telling you how many. So basically, that's taking right now you have it set to 10. It's taking the 10 strongest nodes, and that's what it's showing you for the orbs. So if you switch it to three, you'll only have the three strongest. So that's all that does. I would recommend sticking. I'll probably say 10 is the best one, especially for indexes that are a bit more cluttered. Probably late day you can stick to like five, but especially early morning, you probably want to have it set to like 10. That's what I would do. Three is going to be way too broad for most index trading, and then 20. I'd have to mess around with it. I guess 20 is technically the most accurate, but it may be too messy. But yeah, so maybe 5 to 10. Maybe 10 is probably going to be optimal for now. Or did you mean the plus? I assume you were talking about the nodes 10, or did you mean the current plus X next N, Sam's? All right. DP. Oh, DPX. Yeah. Oracle. PK, switch to SPX daily spread X. I don't know if it's, I don't know. There might be some slight difference in, there's probably some, I don't know, some minor delay, but for us, it's not enough to actually matter. I don't know. Someone in the chat earlier gave me that. I wasn't aware why SPX wasn't working. All right, Oracle. Can we see Oracle 165? Yeah, Oracle 165 definitely strong level. The only thing that'll prevent that is if you see this 169, well, one. Wait, what? The Oracle get news? What the heck is this? Wait, DPX, you were in calls before today or you got in today? If you're already in calls in Oracle, I'd sell almost everything and just leave runners, right? That way, runners, it doesn't really matter. Oh, you got in calls today. At what point? Yeah, did Oracle, does anyone know Oracle got news? Or why they're up like almost 20 bucks at noon? Oh, shoot. Okay, let me 150. I mean, you're already up 5 bucks on those. I would still be trimming regardless if you got in there. Yeah, it can still go higher. I think the main thing to look out for now is that 160 node. 160 and 160 could reject earlier, or 165. 165 for sure, I think will have some kind of reaction. But yeah, I don't know what news they got. Like this is definitely a huge push. But yeah, I would say 160 can be good there. It's hard to say. I mean, if this is just ripping off news, then I don't. Those are trickier to play because that means the heat map I'm looking at now probably look completely different in the morning. If you should trim, I would trim now. I mean, I think any individual trade, if it goes your way, I would trim same day if you can a portion, right? Because imagine, I don't know, imagine Trump says whatever tomorrow and Oracle's dead. So I wouldn't go gambling on that. So yeah, I would just trim leave runners, and then that'll probably be the safest thing, safest approach there. All right, can I do arm? Yeah, I can do arm. I mean, yeah, arm is also a mess. Let me see here. So in arm, yeah, you'd be waiting for either 160 or this kind of double top here, this level here around 158. So that whole kind of zone is pretty strong level. Um, the issue is arm's just very cluttered, right? So like if arm rejects down, we now have all week, but it has nodes already at 155, 152, so it's not a ton of range to move. And we just pump like a full $10, right? So I probably wouldn't take arm. Like I'd want to see bigger, usually a bigger air pocket when I'm trying to trade these. Unless we break and retest above 160, then I guess you could be trading it towards 170 this week or next week, or even 172 like 2 weeks out. But yeah, ARM to me at least right now looks a bit too compressed on Gex. So I probably wouldn't be too interested in ARM. Are we still doing SMH puts? I don't know. Wait, is someone doing SMH puts? I have no idea. Is that Architect maybe? You got calls for 515. You're looking a bit further out than I was looking. Yeah, I mean we definitely have May first week we have quite a bit of volume up there, and then as well as May 15th. Yeah, I would just keep tracking this volume. What strike were those calls? The only thing I'd look at is this 515, right? So May's OPEX. Make sure that a lot of this volume doesn't drop down to like 180, right? Well, it depends on your strike. If you have like 170, 180s, maybe that's fine. But if you bought any further out, you'd need to make sure that the volume up here at 200 and 210 doesn't roll lower. You bought 180 strike. Okay. Yeah, then I think you should be fine. Does look like arms consolidating pretty big time though. Guess we have a bit of like a lower trend line that bounced. Say definitely you'd want to see that continue. I mean the big thing with anything semis, right, is like also the With the overall market getting like these fluctuations, then this play could also just die if overall indexes starts falling off. Archie called out SMH puts. Oh, okay. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at this. So this is Vex, Gex. I mean, yeah, definitely there's volume down there. I don't know if there's a ton of, I don't know if there's a strong ceiling is the issue. Wait, is SMH at all-time highs? Yeah, you kind of just have this double top, right? With yesterday, which we're sweeping right now. We don't really have strong volume on the heat maps though. It's just putting a good ceiling. But yeah, again, I don't know how Architect is looking at this. I know he interprets these map a little bit different. Yeah, right. In terms of a lotto, you probably can on SMH, but it looks like this 425 held really strong in overnight actually. So I don't know if we'd go much lower than that. We'd probably get another reaction off of that whenever we do end up hitting it. All right. Microsoft. All right. Oh, well, I mean, Microsoft, this is just a 1 DTE. So, I mean, yeah, at this point, it's 50 minutes left. It's probably just going to pin here. Going into Friday, going into OPEX, we have a ton of volume towards like 400. So, big thing here is we're just going to have to clear this 385-ish level. Yeah, 384-ish maybe. So, we're looking like right here. Where we had a lot of, bounce off of it here, a lot of consolidation right under here, rejection, rejected again last week. So we really need to get over here, reclaim that, and then get further push into the week. Uh, HP Carvana. Give me a second here. All right, Carvana. Whoa, we got a crazy note up here. 400. Bruh. Yeah, with any of these that have run, if you're looking for a continuation, just look for another, one of the previous ceilings to flip to a floor. So what, 350 perhaps could do so? Or look for this wick here at 347 if you want that overshoot of 350. Um, but yeah, apart from that, yeah, Carvana, like with the node that far up, I'd just be looking for any kind of retrace that you can get off of a floor or previous support resistance, and that's gonna be your only way to get in. But otherwise, yeah, otherwise this thing's already started flying. See, you can't type that fast into heat maps. Well, Palantir died. Yeah, so Palantir, you see this 150 super strong level defended over multiple weeks. That's where we came up here, tapped that level once, tapped it twice, broke through on the third time. Then we just got a huge flush. But yeah, that 150 level definitely carried a lot of weight earlier in the week. For right now on Palantir, I guess you'd be looking at 131 to hold. See if we can go a little bit further up, keep holding this gap, but at least right now, this level here is holding. Yeah, 135 is holding very strong. Yeah, we need to see, yeah, maybe 131, top of this consolidation bit here, see if we bounce off that, or even take out this low here at like 129, then get another bounce and, break through this 130, 134 node. But yeah, that's probably Palantir right there. I don't know, Palantir doesn't look super clean. Honestly, so much stuff moved. It's kind of annoying. All right. And then CoinVex, 370 for May OPEX. I don't know about that. Yeah, but I probably, yeah, 170, I guess on coin is pretty strong. Consistent floor. The chart, we're not seeing a very good level though. But yeah, basically we've had consolidation, look for like a fake out and then push up, and that would be off 170. Duolingo? Duolingo's gotten killed. Yeah, Duolingo, who mentioned this? Linda? Yeah, Linda, at this point, I mean, we already started the push. So either if we're able to break and retest maybe this level here around 93, like these couple wicks that happened, break above and then retest that, they can get a continuation. And also we have like it's very low volume Duolingo, but we have this double positive stack at 92 and 93. So that might be the play there, but at least for now, it looks like it may actually be holding this as a triple top. Yeah, so pretty tricky on Duolingo. Linda, I don't know if you actually want me to look at. Do you want me to look at ASST or are you comparing Duolingo to it? Typical 1DT, yeah, 1DT. Yeah, 1DT are super slow. Yeah, I found them too annoying and I quit trading them. Well, that was a long time ago. Google. Yeah, Google as well, right? We have kind of triple top here. So if we break above and can retest it, I think we can continue higher, but I would not be playing this breakout. But yeah, break and retest of Google 320 looks pretty good. Right. Reminded you of CoreWeave. Oh, CoreWeave like a week ago or 2 weeks ago? Oh, one other thing with Google, you can also just check Goog with no L. So if this looks similar, like Google's the only ticker you can actually do this with, but if this looks similar, then that helps, right? At least right now, it looks like it has some resistance here at 320 as well. Oh, true typical. Yeah, Google has weeklies. Google has 3 day a week expirations. All right. AAOI. Yeah, AAOI. I'm not sure. We don't have very soft floor or ceilings. All these levels are very soft. Yeah, AOI. You might have to play more chart structure on this. I don't know what this ticker actually looks like on high time frame. I think this is all-time highs, right? So probably you'd have to go off some fib extensions, not even fib retracements on this one, or maybe standard deviations if you find a manipulation leg. All right, HP. HP, I think it works best on indexes actually. So few reasons, like one, you're able to get a lot better confluence off indexes. Um, but in two, like indexes are such a like it gives you more of an edge with indexes because those are so fast moving, right? Whereas with individuals, yes, they still shuffle a lot throughout the day. Um, but with indexes, like having those live refreshes, or even if you're on the Discord version, like 15-second updates, like that's giving you just a huge value add, right? And then also indexes, this is not anything with the tool itself, but I think you're safer just in the market environment due to trading indexes, but that's irrespective of the tool, right? But that's the reason I do mostly indexes. I mean, I used to do individuals out of necessity, like I just didn't have time to do indexes, but that's why I've swapped to doing mostly indexes now that I work from home. PayPal? Yeah. All right. PayPal had nice flow. Well, had a rip. Is this 45 floor there in the morning? That'd be crazy. Yeah, PayPal, that 45. Wow. Yeah, so now that we've already pushed a bit, so PayPal, you're probably looking for this 47.5, 48 to break above retest. So this level here, unless you're already in. If you're already in, this is fine. But that's the only thing I'd do now. Or just wait for it to go push higher. I guess till 50, but just see if the volume changes or not. Because 50 is kind of on its own up here. Let me see. Yeah, it's really on its own. I guess you'd be playing this wick here. So 50 would make sense if you play out that wick to the downside. Not the cleanest map though. Definitely would have wanted to take the edges. Linda, Duolingo. Oh, you're already in it. Okay. ASSTs, low volume. Google. Yeah, I think Google does look pretty good. Citron short news. Wait, Baggins, what is that for? Citron? I don't track that one. No king node on this week. Oh, okay. If there's no king node on this week or next week column, does it not have any substantial nodes? The king node or larger nodes from other expiration columns will have a formal price. Yeah, Linda. So if you have a very sparse week, in terms of volume, then yeah, a lot of times the levels that end up happening are future levels. Um, it's a bit riskier to play, even if they tap those early, is just because it may need more time, right? If those nodes are something that's 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out, yes, it may hold today, but also price may just sort of sit there and drop later, etc. So it's I still prefer to play, especially Gex, any kind of Gex floor ceiling. If I'm on the week of that expiration, I usually don't do it ahead of time. Like I usually don't track like ahead of time like that, Linda. Like I'll take notice of it, but I don't trade off of that, if that makes sense. All right, yeah, it looks like index is still pushing. What the? Oh, this is Vex. Yeah, we're really tapping into the spiral pool finally. So let's see what happens. Typical. How would this play? Not taking any positions, but can this be a push-up since 684 is a floor? Can it be a rug since I guess both of those are true typical. I don't know if I get what you mean there. I mean, this is a rug pull whether 685 is a king node or not, right? Like a rug pull is just a strong positive node over a strong negative node. It's not actually tied to king node or not, if that makes sense. So I don't know if maybe I'm misunderstanding. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, so it could still be a rug pull, but we are very late in the day, right? So then we may also just end, price may just end around here, 684, 685, and just kind of pin there. Um, no, 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 all good. Just wanted to make sure I'm answering the right question. Yeah, I don't want to answer something you're not asking. But yeah, that's how I'm looking at it, at least right now. Things if we break a lot more over 6860, this can sort of reverse the rug pull. So then we probably push towards 685. But uh yeah, at least right now QQQ, SPX look like we're holding around those positive nodes. Where's clowns? Can I short? Clowns, that's up to you. I can see the short here. SPX, QQQ showing pretty good resistance. Just that spine node's a bit weird, but Yeah, it's a tricky moment here. Interesting spot. All right. Looks like we're getting a bit of rejection there. If we hold that. But yeah, it's been a funky day. It's holding for now. Yeah. Yeah, typical. If you're second guessing yourself, then it's probably a good time to just, I mean, just look back at it, right? You can always just track what happened but if it's feeling tricky, I wouldn't trade it, right? Just save your capital for setups that will go better. Yeah, we just pop through it. Holy, okay. Looks like 685 is gonna go tap. Yeah, today they're not giving much fun on puts. Let's see, what, 30 minutes left? Yes, actually, oh, is Byron still here? Wait, let me check. Not Byron, Myron. My bad. Yeah, so actually Myron, it kind of showed up here, right? With 6865, 6875. Those are getting huge amount of negative increase. So that's kind of the pattern I was talking about. I didn't even recognize it. I was busy looking at SPY and QQQ. But that's the kind of pattern I'm talking about, Myron. But like, I feel like I've seen it a good three, four times, but I haven't like looked into it well enough because it needs to be something that's predictive, right? If it's showing up afterwards or like as the move is happening, it's not actually useful for us. But if we're able to catch some of those signs a little bit ahead of time, then it is something worth looking into. Yeah, so then exactly, right? I don't know if it's actually worth commenting on until I look into it a bit further, but actually, yeah, let me write this down as otherwise I'll forget. I always forget the moments, but let me write this down. So I think there's three that I can think of, so I'll need to look into it. So April 13, what is it? 3, 3:30. So yeah, I'll look into that, Myron. But I'll let you know. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Nikki, I'm wondering, uh, I think part of this was news, right? I think a couple of these candles were news influenced. I know it's lunchtime push. I don't remember what news it was, but something came out there. And I think the morning as well, something came out. I'm not actually sure if the morning was news. I'm just assuming based on NQ having a okay, NQ having an 130 point candle. That's like almost positive that's news. Um, but yeah, I guess some people look at it as like, oh, like gap fill from the gap down on the weekend, but so that's part of it as well. But I don't know. I don't pay much attention to the. Although if you have to play any gap fill, I would say the new week opening gap, that's like the best gap fill you can do because that's actually a gap, right? Most other gaps people look at are not gaps. They're just ignoring futures data from overnight, and that's why they see the gap. So the new week opening gap is the only like true gap that happens in the market. I guess sometimes we gap at 6 p.m., but those are usually a lot smaller. Yeah, at this point though, between 685, 615, we look a bit, I mean, yeah, by now it's moved a ton throughout today, so I would hope we're pinned, or I would expect we're pinned. Yeah, today, interesting day. Yeah, SPY node is huge. It's like a billion, 1.1 billion. It's been a while since I've seen a node that strong. I think there was a Friday. I don't remember what Friday there was. There was a Friday that we just dragged down towards a SPY node that also had just massive volume. But yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, so they come up. We came within 50 cents of there, right? So that SPY rug pull. The thing is, even a SPY rug pulls, SPX has 6860, so and QQQ has 615, so there's not too much movement left here end of day. Actually, and 684 is now. Yeah, this SPY map is insane today, honestly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, these two nodes are just gonna duke it out, right? 684, 685, and see where we pin, but that's insane. Thoughts on indexes? Oh, for end of week? Dixon. Yeah, it could, Dixon. We just have to break 615 and 6860. That's so I feel like it won't. It definitely could though. If we but we'd need to break under 615, which I'd be pretty surprised, honestly. Yeah, worth a lotto probably. Yeah, if we shatter like if we break back under 6860, 615, that's huge percent gain if you get a $2 move at this time. Uh Nikki, Vex. Oh, let me look. Well, yeah, the keyboard shortcuts on Gex Vex things are ruined. I hate them. Wait, what? Wait, give me a second here. They just not work at all? You said we are looking bearish. Yeah, so 6,800 looks like it has a lot of volume on SPX. SPY. Oh, where's SPY? 665. Yeah, definitely a lot of volume. And then I just deleted QQQ on accident. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of bearish volume. Oh, check 750 though. No, still downside is winning out on SPX. SPY as well. Yeah, there's definitely a ton of downside. I do wonder though, that has to do with just the big pump that we had last week. Like a few of the days last week since we pumped so hard, a lot of times you'll get like this leftover positioning. So always with those nodes, good to go look at how they've shifted, right? So Nikki, who has this? Nikki, yeah, if those have been growing volumes since, for the over the past week, then you'd be looking at them as, okay, this is definitely something that you want to pay attention to. If those have just been consistently losing 30, 40, 50% of their volume over the past week, then I'd probably expect them to fade out, or I'd expect other nodes to grow closer to price. So instead of target being 650, maybe some node ends up growing, I don't know, maybe this 675 grows a ton more, 665, right? So pay attention to how they've developed over the past week. Mustafa, how much is OPEX? Almost everything, right? Especially for individual takers, like the basically you get huge positioning taken well in advance on OPEX strikes for all those monthly contracts. Or sorry, the monthly expirations. And a lot of times they're taken well in advance, right? So that's why sometimes you see OPEX nodes that are very distant from where price is. It's because, I don't know, say a ticker's trading at 200. So the OPEX positioning is around 200 to 10, let's say, for the month after. And then they tank on earnings to 150 or to 160. That's why sometimes we have some pretty, like, very far away OPEX nodes. So always with those, it's good to look at, okay, how's the ticker moved in the past 1 to 2 months? And but then also it's very important to look at, yes, we have a large node when we look at it one instance in time, but is that a large node that doubled over the past week? Did it get slashed in half? Is it the same volume? Because that can matter a lot, right? And I think there's a good example with gold from like a month ago where gold had a massive node upside, but then if you look at the actual volume on it, it had just kept dropping and dropping, right? Just getting cut in half and cut in half again and again. And then so obviously that's a level where it's way less likely to go get revisited. And yeah, in that example, gold never made it back there. Oh, Rick, I didn't see yours. Did I review MU? No, I didn't. Let me look. So yeah, the reason I say all that about OPEX is there might be actually a lot of leftover downside nodes because of how bearish the market was looking. But now we got a pretty strong bounce over the past few weeks or few days. So that may be a part of it there. Let me see. Well, MU got a rip off lowers. Let me see here. Yeah, at this point, you just be looking for some kind of retest. So maybe 420 where we rejected in the morning. Now that we broke above, we can retest and hold this level. So that'd be roughly here. Because it looks like this node has grown quite a bit. And then, or maybe it was just present there all week. Definitely a ton of volume there. And then, yeah, if that can't hold, then I guess 415 is here, very strong in volume. It's not a very strong level though, so I don't like that one as much. I'll be honest. So yeah, I'd probably just be looking at 420 on MU. 415 has some credibility, but yeah, I'd be looking at 420 first. Also, 420 has good volume for next week too, so that's often a good sign. All right, PK, architect reads the maps differently. Do I know, understand it? Um, no, I'll be honest. Like I read through some of his messages, but a lot of his stuff to me is, I mean, I don't even know what some of the stuff means, right? Like I haven't even memorized the cheat sheet I sent out earlier. You probably have to ask him. I know he's pretty big on, he'll look a lot at like how, well, one, he's really big on Vex, right? Like he's paying attention to Vex a lot more than a lot of people, and Vix, right? Like he's very Vex heavy. Um, I don't know how he's getting his levels for that. That's probably some model he's running on his side. So, again, but with his pivot points, I know he uses his pivot points with his 10-minute rule, and that's how he's deciding like how VIX will play out and then like how it'll influence the indexes. Like I know that's a big chunk of his core style, right? So again, I don't know how I don't use that myself. Like I don't look at VIX like at all. But I have I have resources if you need, like that explain the 10-minute rule, that explain a couple other things that he does. So let me know and I can send those to you. But you may also just have to DM him yourself. I don't like I'm not too in tune with the way he uses the maps. It's pretty unique, I'll be honest. I don't think I don't even know if Glitch probably understands what he's doing, but I don't think Glitch trades in that way. Yeah, so to me, yeah, Architect's way, I mean it works clearly like he does well, but it's a bit different to the way that Glitch and then like John and I preach to trade. So yeah, I guess I stick to what I know. Obviously, like his stuff works, but I'll probably have to learn that at a different date. Yeah, Baggins, just send me a reminder. PK as well. If y'all want any of those resources, just text me a reminder. Otherwise, I'll forget. All right, Tutke, with the same analogy used for gold, I have the Tesla 360 for 417. Should you consider cutting or keeping? Oh, uh, so I had checked this earlier, right? When you asked earlier about Tesla. At least right now, this node has stayed fairly consistent. So I mean, I would trim if you're up, but I don't think you need to like sell everything. Big thing with Tesla is keep track of course, the 370 node, but also keep track of this 335 node. If this continues to grow a lot, then I'd start getting a little bit worried, right? But at least Tesla, I guess 365 and 355 are the only other nodes that could gatekeep. So you don't want to also be looking if volume is growing on one of those. So for example, 365, not for OPEX date, but the for Wednesday, this node basically showed up out of nowhere, right? If you look at these plus minuses, if this grew 70 million, this means this was basically nothing earlier in the day, and then it just flared up in the past 10 minutes, I guess. So I'd be looking at that 365. Right now, that's helping your thesis, right? If you're getting a lot of upside growth, that means, okay, positioning is growing 365 and hopefully 370 after. But if you see a lot of this volume fading or rolling down lower and forming a ceiling closer to price, then I'd be a bit more concerned about any calls you have. Tarke, hopefully that helps. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm trying to, and yeah, Baggins, no problem. I'm trying to think if, I don't know if Architect's ever done a session like just solo that's recorded where he's explaining his style. I don't think I know of one. Trying to think how else you can get more info on this. I think on Twitter he goes live a few times a week or maybe every day on Spaces. But he does that, I think, in the morning. So maybe also check that out on his page. I don't know if that's free or not. Hopefully it's free. But I know he also does that, so you may want to look into that. Oh, it's paid service. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about how many. I'd imagine he gets quite a few messages. So, oh, Dixon. Okay, so he's similar to. This is recorded. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else, but this is recorded. Yeah, I know most of the sessions he does in Asgard are not recorded. He has a couple like office hours I think are recorded. There's one with me like long while ago, and I think he did one with John. But I don't think he was going over his like whole trading methodology. Like I think he was sharing a few things he does and like how he's interpreting the map at the time. But I don't think it was like a full breakdown of how he trades and how he's interpreting these maps. But I can try to find those couple links. And again, if y'all are interested, just let me know and I'll try to send you those. But yeah, he has a different style. Cause yeah, and well yeah, I guess anyone who's interested, DM me. Otherwise, I'm not gonna remember. Because I know also like his trades tend to be a bit longer time horizon. Like Glitch, for example, right? Sometimes Glitch is in and out of trade like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Architect is usually doing like 1, 2 hour hold. Like I've seen him hold some of his index plays pretty long relative to the rest of us. So what the hell? Wait, sorry. Did we get news? More news this late? Oh, this is mock. Whoops. I'm dumb. How I see so far. Yeah, it's a bit of a different. Yeah, Baggins. I mean, I'll send you what I know, but again, it's not a way that I trade, so it's not. I'm not too well versed in how he's doing it. Is this just mock? Is there news? Mock is usually not this extreme. Bro, are they dropping news this late in the day now? All right, so yeah, 685 did come true. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised with that. Yeah, I thought we were gonna get this like light tap reject and just sort of stay low. Holy crap. Wait, let me. It had to have been news. No, I guess not. I don't see anything. Yeah, it's a wild pop. Yeah, today, I didn't like today too much. Looks like SPY's just gonna pin there. Yeah, well, 1.6 billion. Massive, massive amount of volume there. All right. Yeah, any other questions? Yeah, mock is mock. I'm not gonna break this down too much. Otherwise, yeah, we can probably leave this here and then later tonight I'll do another session. But that one's in conjunction with owls, so a lot of times those office hours tend to be a bit more like fundamentals because a lot of those people just don't even know how the tool works and stuff like that. So, um, but yeah, it'll start being both, right? So it probably be a bit of fundamentals, but then also probably quite a few questions from people in here. So, okay, yeah, this has to be news. What? Why am I not seeing any headline? All right. Yeah, if there's no other questions, I'll probably just cut this here. Uh, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I mean it's 3:55. Day's over. All right. Yeah, no problem, everyone. And then again, Wednesday I'll do this one again. And then tonight, I might have to cut out one of these sessions. I'm doing a lot of these now I think about it, but I guess I cover more questions this way than doing one-on-ones, so this might be it's more efficient technically. But yeah, anyways, thanks everyone for joining. Hope you will have a good day. Yeah, I gotta go figure out what this news is. I don't know what's going on right now. All right. Have a good one, everyone. Good rest of the week as well. Thanks all.